freedom, simplicity, closeness to nature. These are words which symbolize homesteading. As a nature-oriented and self-oriented lifestyle, homesteading presents both a practical and philosophical choice to make life simpler and take your destiny into your own hands. It can free you from the enslaved position all of us have in this hectic modern world of consumerism and materialism, where nothing is enough, despite the obvious abundance and harsh division between the abundance and scarcity. There are two closely related processes within homesteading. Its supporters yearn to produce more or less everything they need. This yearning is connected with their inclination to get rid of the dependent position in modern society. This means not cutting your ties with the rest of the world, at least, not a complete alienation. Becoming a homesteader is easier nowadays, thanks to modern technologies, like solar panels and wind turbines. These inventions allow potential homesteaders to have their own power source. This is probably the most demanding step in reaching the lifestyle of self-sufficiency. However, there are lots of other steps that are necessary. Growing your own food is also a priority number one. Sustainable agriculture and permaculture are the principles of working with nature, instead of against nature. In other words, homesteaders run their own gardens in a natural way. Apart from vegetables, fruit, grains, people may need meat, eggs, dairy, and other animal-sourced food. Therefore, raising animals is one more phase in homesteading. As with gardens, taking care of animals requires knowledge and skills. But, even if you are inexperienced, you can still fulfill your wish of homesteading by starting raising chickens on your farm. As you can see, gardens and farms provide you with a rich choice of food. Homesteading, yet, gives you more options for providing food. There are people who want to expand the food choice by foraging, hunting, and fishing if possible. Of course, knowledge about herbs is essential, as well as skills. As you know, some of your garden products can't remain fresh and edible throughout the year. In that sense, preservation is the answer. So it is necessary to learn several techniques to preserve food, such as fermenting, canning, drying, dehydrating, making cheese, jams, and jellies, and more. Water is one more essential component in homesteaders' life. Going off the grid and living in a self-sufficient way are not possible without an alternative water source. The most common ways to provide water include collecting and storing rainwater and digging wells. You have probably noticed that the role of a homesteader encompasses a range of skills. To produce your own original household items, like furniture pieces, clothing, soaps, candles, you need to develop handicraft skills. As a key priority and phase in building up the homesteading way of living, we go back to power. You can start small and use a regular electric grid, while developing all other aspects of this lifestyle. It is also possible to use old-fashioned oil lamps or homemade candles for lighting homes and living without electrical appliances. Nevertheless, as we have already mentioned, there are solar panels, wind turbines. You can rely on these sources of renewable energy. So, there are different power-providing choices that have a common goal: relying as little as possible on public utilities. Maybe you could discern that everything about homesteading is a matter of choice. The whole point about homesteading is about being self-sufficient, and not restrained by society norms. It's the purpose that matters, and not the vehicle that will get you there. In the end, why should you become a homesteader? Well, at the very beginning, you will forget those dreadful words of mortgage and credit. Over time, you will forget about buying things when you can make them instead. Fewer bills, taking off those financial chains of the urban lifestyle. It will turn out that you will earn more than you spend as a homesteader. So, hooray for financial freedom. Homesteading means living in nature, and nature means benefits for both your physical and mental health. Benefits such as fresh air, cleaner water, regular walks and exercises, healthier diet, lack of chemicals and pesticides. What more to want? More health, less stress. Of course, you can't completely avoid stress, but its reduction is significant in homesteading conditions. Weather conditions will cause some stress, but that is nothing compared to modern daily urban stresses. Homesteading stimulates your reevaluation of your priorities, goals, and values. It will make them simple and precious. There is only one way to deal with a problem as a homesteader. Face it, try to fix it, and move on. Know what? We as human beings are meant to live these self-sufficient lives, just like our ancestors did for thousands of years. Things have gone in the opposite direction after the Industrial Revolution. When you compare these two halves, before and after the Industrial Revolution, it is obvious that homesteading is somehow more natural to us than social media and the internet. We shouldn't neglect modern achievements, but we shouldn't neglect nature and our human nature as well. As time flies faster and faster, as modern lifestyle doesn't permit true freedom, many people consider leaving urban turmoil for peaceful natural surroundings. The concepts of homesteading, prepping, survivalism, of the grid, simple life, and back to the land are some of the options of re-establishing closer relations with our Mother Nature.